All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a cover photo on Canva that stays within the safe zone so that it is built both for mobile and for desktop. And I'm going to show you several different examples. And I'm also going to help you get familiar with the tools that you have here on Canva. Now, the first thing you want to do is you actually want to download this graphic here that is number one on the template. And the way we do that is you just click up here at share, click on download here, and then we're going to make this much bigger. We're going to, for some reason, I don't know why, but Canva makes cover photos really small. I'm going to try to fix it before I do the template, but for some reason they have the size really, really small. So we're going to 2x it, and then we're going to hit that download button, okay? Which I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again. When it downloads, it goes onto your computer in the downloads folder, and you can then come over here to uploads. Over here on the left, we're going to click uploads. You're going to click upload file, and then you're going to find that downloads folder, and you're going to upload this safe zone thing. I know it seems like extra steps, but this is the fastest, easiest way I could find to get you a copy of this safe zone. Now that we've done that, we are going to add a page here on Canva. So right below, I'm going to show you again how I did that. We've got the graphic here with the safe zone. Underneath of it, it says add page. We're going to click on add page. And then we're going to decide what we want to put in here as a cover photo. So I have a picture from an event not that long ago. And let's say I want to use that as a cover photo. Where did it go? It was like right up top here. All right, not that one. I had it already. Like that is the one I'm going to use for this. I'm sure, there we go. So this was an event that I did for the Grow Business Network. And let's say I want to use this for my cover photo. So instead of just if I click on it, it pops it on there. I can readjust it. I can move it all over the place. If I drag it on, which just means I click my clicker and I make the finger come up like that and I drag it over, it's going to fill up the whole space. Now, from here, I can double click this picture. It's going to get big like that, and I can scooch it down and hit done. Now, this could be my cover photo with a little bit of text on it. But first, I want to find out whether or not it's actually going to fit. Am I within the parameters, or am I getting completely cut off? Now, I can kind of use the photo on top of me to figure out the desktop, right? And I could eyeball it, right? But if you're not comfortable eyeballing it, or you start to get into more details, you can actually grab this safe zone graphic that we have there. We're going to click it so it goes onto the page. We're going to use these corners to drag it to fill the page, okay? And then we're going to come up here to this shaded checkerboard up top here. And it says transparency. We're going to hit the transparency button, and we're going to make that safe zone transparent. So now this is showing me exactly what is going to be safe in this picture. And this is generally me talking to a group of people. That's what I want in there. If I was cut out over here in the blue, that means on mobile you wouldn't be able to see me. Now my elbow gets cut off a little bit. It's not a whole lot I can do about that because I can't move this picture from side to side because this is as wide as it goes. So I'm just going to have to be okay with my elbow getting cut off a little bit. And I now know that the most important things are in that safe zone. So I can just click on the safe zone, delete it. I know that I'm good. Now I want to add some text. Now, Canva has a bunch of really great text things you can put on there. I don't get too fancy. I'm just going to add a headline, and let's say I say free monthly marketing workshops. Okay, let's say that's what I want to put on my cover photo. That is something that I offer that's different. that gives people an idea of who I am fairly quickly and what it is I do. So I actually did that kind of quick. I don't want it all on one line. I want it on 2 lines. So you just have to shift enter, put it on 2 lines. Okay, so we've got that there, free monthly marketing workshop. Now that's kind of hard to read. One thing, I feel like the space between these 2 sets of words is a little bit wide. So I'm going to hit this button up top here with the spacing. And we're going to bring them together a little bit better. It looks a little bit nicer. Now also it's kind of hard to read because we have all of this stuff happening behind it. So this used to be much more difficult to do, but Canva has made this easier in recent time. There's a couple of things we can do. We can change the text color to see if a different color pops, and most of them are going to have a hard time against that background. The white doesn't do too bad, and I tend to default to white text. Then we can come up here and click Effects, and we can add a shadow behind the white. And we just made that text pop a lot more. I haven't found the shadow to work that well against any dark colored text, but the white text, it does work pretty well. So we can do that. It's still a little bit muddy for my liking. So I think what I'm going to do is, instead of the lift, these shadows here, I never quite like them. I'm just not a big fan of how they look. So I tend to either do lift or I'll do background. And background will put a background on the text itself. I can change the color. I can make it orange. I can make it blue. I like this color green. We use that a lot. And I can add a little bit of transparency to the background by just all these controls here on the left. I can say, don't be quite so blobby. And you see how there's a little bit of extra space there? That's because there's actually a space. We're going to bring that down. So I can make it not quite so blobby. I can also make it more square or more round. So I kind of like the square a little bit more. And there we go. I've got, oops, my free monthly workshops is right there. I can also go back to effects. I could add some curve to it. And you can actually, it's kind of behind the controls for this video, which I can't do anything about because I'm recording the video. You could add that curviness to it, and you can reduce the amount of curve it has. I don't want to add that. Another thing that you can do, let's say I take the effects off. I can also come over here to elements, click elements, click this box here, and then I can just do something like that. And I'm sure you've seen things like that before. We can even up top here make it adjust to the left. And maybe we even move this over a bit. And what's really cool about Canva that they've just started doing in the last 6 months or so, if I click this box and I want it to be a different color, I can click the color box up here, and I can find colors that actually are pulled from the picture itself. So I can coordinate a bit more with the picture. I kind of like that. That looks kind of cool. And you might say, well, why don't you put it up higher? Because then it's going to get cut off. And I'm not even sure right now. This looks like this may cut off. So we're going to go back to uploads, and we're going to put our safe zone on there. We're going to move it back into place. And we're going to add transparency. So now I can see that everything that I find the most important is actually being shown. Now, that's not the most amazing cover photo on the planet. I'm sure a graphic designer could do much better than that, but it works for me, and it works for what I'm trying to set up. So now I know everything is in there. I could actually download this cover photo after deleting the safe zone, I could download this cover photo and use this. I could even, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it down a little bit so that the more of the heads aren't cut off. And I can still tell that I'm within range here and I'm not hardly cutting anybody off. All right, so that's how you can create something from scratch using a photo that you have. But let's see what we would do if we picked a template. So here are a bunch of templates on the left-hand side. There's some really great ones here. But again, we want to make sure that we are making sure that people actually know what it is we are offering, what we sell, what we do, and that it also fits within the template, the sizing template. So if we look at something like this one here, if we were to use this particular template, I can already tell that some of the things are not going to work with the current sizing. So just because it's on here on Canva doesn't mean it's going to show up correctly. So in this case, the logo will be cut off. The text is all okay. So we may be okay with that. We may be okay with just the logo getting cut off, or we can just move things over. And then, and then we'd have to move it over again because it's still not quite right. So you would want to keep moving things over until they are in the safe zone. Some of the templates that I like, I do like this one. I think this is a really nice one. You can have your tagline there. You can put your contact information there. I'm not a great fan of this particular text. Then you could drop several pictures of your products across there. And when we add the safe zone on there and line it up and hit our transparency, bring the transparency down, you can see that most of this falls within the safe zone and only these two pictures on the outside get cut off. So that would be a great place to put pictures that are good, but maybe not the best, and you put your best 3 pictures in the middle. So I like that one a lot. I think that one works well. You can play around with all kinds of different cover photo templates. You can see some of them have like deals and discounts on it or sales. And you can simply put your information in versus the information that's already there. I like things that are really simple like this. But if you want, something like this could work for insurance, but I would still try to find a good picture of you and your clients, something like that. Let's see. This is nice where you can just drop in a picture and it already has some text on it. These are nice here too. I like ones like this where it kind of gives you that faded, that background picture isn't loading real well, but it kind of gives you this light white box so you can put your information in the middle and then you can replace the background image with whatever you like. That's a good one too. And we can see that that's pretty much going to be in the safe zone. Once you've done this enough times, you can kind of get an idea of what is in the safe zone and what isn't. So yeah, if you are not artistically inclined, just pick a cover photo from here that makes sense for you and makes sense for your business and also gives that same kind of feel you want for your business, right? We want to stay good with the branding. This is another nice one. Replace current template. You can see that we're going to have a lot of cutoff up top here. We're going to have cutoff on the sides. The text is going to be cut off. So all we have to do is make that text smaller. And we can even bring the pictures down so that gives us a little bit more space and we could put a couple of pictures up there. And then we can lay the template on there just to be, or the size guy, just to be sure that that's all going to fit correctly. So that's it. That's how you create a cover photo. Once you play around with it and get familiar with the tools, it's not that difficult to put something together. You just need to keep in mind what it is we're trying to accomplish. We want them to stay on your page. We don't want them to jump off immediately because they're turned off by the cover photo. And we want to give them a reason to look more. What is it about you that's different? What is it about you that is important enough for them to look further at what it is that you do with your business? And if you get that right, then your cover photo is going to be a great asset to helping you secure more business. And that's ultimately what it is that we want to do.